Have you noticed how everything in the US feels more expensive lately? Groceries, rent, gas, even insurance. Most people blame inflation, but there's a lot of confusion about what that really means, and whether the government is actually making things worse. So let's break it down simply. Segment 1. What inflation really is. Inflation isn't just things cost more. It's when the overall prices of goods and services rise across the economy. That means your dollar buys less than it used to. And here's the key. Once prices go up, they almost never come back down. The goal of the government and the Federal Reserve isn't to make prices fall, but to slow down how fast they keep rising. Segment 2. So who's raising prices? Not the government directly. Businesses set the prices you see on shelves, and they raise them for a few reasons. Their costs go up, like wages, shipping, or raw materials. Global shocks like energy or supply chain issues make things pricier. Or, and this one's controversial, they raise prices simply because they can to keep profit margins high. That's what some people call greedflation. Segment 3. The government's role. Here's where the confusion comes in. The Federal Reserve fights inflation by raising interest rates. When rates go up, credit cards, mortgages, and business loans all get more expensive. That means people and companies borrow and spend less. With less demand in the economy, businesses are pressured to stop raising prices so quickly. But there's a catch. Higher rates also make life feel harder in the short term. Housing gets more expensive. Debt gets more expensive. So it can feel like the government is making things worse, even though the goal is to cool prices over time. Meanwhile, Congress plays a role too. When the government spends heavily or cuts taxes, that can fuel demand and push prices up. When it spends less or raises taxes, it can cool things down. Segment 4. Will prices ever go back down? Here's the tough truth. Most prices will not go back to where they were in 2019. Instead, the best outcome is that inflation slows and prices stop rising so fast. Economists expect US inflation to slowly cool over the next couple years, but everyday life will probably stay more expensive than before the pandemic. Closing. So, no, the government isn't raising prices. Businesses do that. The government is trying to slow things down, but the trade-off is that it also makes borrowing and debt more painful. Understanding this chain reaction is key, because it helps explain why life feels expensive and why it's not likely to snap back overnight. If you found this breakdown helpful, hit like, share it with a friend, and subscribe for more clear explanations on the big issues shaping your world.